starts misusing me, I am going to use whatever is necessary to get that criminal off my back.
Terror is not a new weapon. Throughout history, it has been used by those who could not prevail. Inevitably, they fail.
Unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
Every time they look over their shoulder, we want them to see us.
Family of light, wake up.
Dear citizens of the world, Operation Awake the Masses has begun. First, let's make one thing clear for the ones still not believing our words as being the truth. We are not a conspiracy created in China or Russia determined to overthrow the United States of America. As far as we can see, almost all of the governments of the world are poisoned by greed and enslaved by the monopoly cartel. We have been created by the very acts of violence, terror and greed, which has been used by your government and its shadow masters ruling it, to conquer the entire world. Anonymous is everyone. Everyone can take action in its own way against their own governments if they believe that the people working there does not serve the citizens' best interest, but instead they serve the corporate monopoly. Action must be taken nonetheless. We are not blind and we see the problems facing Asia and the Middle East. But first we will concentrate our efforts into the direction of the United States of America. Here is where the most unequal distribution of wealth exists. 400 people now own more wealth than most of its population, to be precise more than 150 million people. 400 versus 150 million people. This will only stop if we start to awake the people that see life very different than the rest of us. The people we are talking about spend most of their time watching foolish TV shows about celebrities and still believe that their leaders only want the best for them, also watching whatever sick programs created for the human mind to be enslaved and redirected from the real problems facing humanity. We have seen many brothers and sisters showing their interest and wanting to help humanity to pass on the right track. Well, now is your chance. Here is what you can do to help to break the chains which have enslaved our planet. Upload on any social network or video sharing sites like Facebook and YouTube all the videos that you believe that represents the truth of the danger that threats our very existence. But, rename their title in a way so that people that are still asleep to be interested in. You have to make it look interesting in title, but the content to be straight to the matter. Of course most of them will ignore the videos, report them, have them deleted, so be careful to use accounts them you can dispose of, so that your own accounts can be safe. This will also trigger a much secure protocol of those social networks and video sharing sites, but by the time they will implement them, we would already gain another couple of millions of awakened people on our side. Just think what chain reaction we could create. We remind the rest of anonymous collectives to never underestimate the power of brainwashed people in large numbers. We are still a minority compared to the rest of the Earth population, and the only way we will ever have a chance into saving humanity once and for all from the monopoly banking system, is by telling people the truth even if they don't want to hear it. So this is our primary mission from now on. Replacing their brainwashing weapons with the truth is the most peaceful action we will ever be able to take. And the most important fact is that it can be done by anyone, because anyone can be anonymous. Let's remind them that we are not helpless no matter what threats or acts of violence they take. We are not here to play foolish games. We are here with a mission. We are not getting paid for it. We are not becoming famous for it. Anonymous is everyone. Remember that, and never forget that we stand for true justice, equality, and liberty. We are anonymous, we are everywhere, we are everyone. We will direct humanity into the right path, we will save humanity, because we can. Greedy banksters and corporate cartels, you cannot stop us, you cannot stop the future, expect us.
Greetings, citizens of the world. We are Anonymous. For many years now, we have warned the citizens of the world about the threats that government pose to the freedoms of the internet. Over this period of time, many people have woken up to the lies told by government officials and now understand the importance of keeping the internet open and free for all to use.
The events that have transpired over the recent days have proven, indisputably, that the governments of the United States and the United Kingdom are trying with all effort possible to monitor the internet. You might ask us, if not to fight terrorism, what are they looking for? The governments of the world are corrupted to the core, by greed and lust, intoxicated by power. They fear losing this power to the people. Let us look at this secret spy system PRISM, and its apparent effectiveness. It has failed to stop terrorism, but has succeeded in monitoring everyone in the world, even law-abiding citizens. It is true that there are evil people in this world who must be watched to ensure the safety of others, but it is simply immoral and unethical to blanket monitor everyone worldwide, assuming that everyone must be guilty of something.
Edward Snowden is a true hero of the people worldwide for revealing this. In stepping forward to bring us the horrifying truth about the draconian states secretly operating, he has put his life on the line. He has given up his job with the government. He has lost his family and loved ones. He now risks extradition and life sentencing to prison, merely for telling us that each and every one of us is being watched, monitored, documented, recorded and categorized.
The fact that companies like Microsoft, Facebook, and Google are involved means that a significant amount of the internet, as we know it, is under inspection. The right to privacy has been violated. People are in greater danger from the surveillance system than they are from terrorism, because the terrorists have not been stopped.
What we are witnessing is the hand of the government and corporate greed extending over the internet. A smear campaign is beginning against Snowden now. This is to be expected. When government is threatened with the loss of power or control, they will use any means required to ensure that the view of the public supports them, instead of the evidence which has come to light. This is done through the media. Already they are calling Edward Snowden a traitor, a supporter of terrorism, or even just creating doubt over his motives. These are common methods seen used against every person who has ever revealed the truth against the state.
The corporations which have been revealed as taking part in PRISM are now scrambling to defend their names, releasing so-called reassurance on why their users' privacy is important. You must ask yourself, if they had done nothing wrong, they would not go to such extreme lengths to change public perception. It is up to us, the people, to see through these lies being told. We must stand with Edward Snowden and fight back on all fronts against the Big Brother state.
Many say they have nothing to hide. But this is beside the point. If you have nothing to hide, why should you be watched? If someone broke into your home and read through your documents and private data, you would feel violated and angered. Why should your digital information be exempt from this? The only difference with online spying is that you remain unaware that it is happening. Otherwise you would become just as angered towards it. And this is why governments fight to keep us from knowing the truth. You only have to scratch the surface before the lies become visible.
Citizens of the world, users of the internet, show your support for Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden is now under the protection of Anonymous worldwide. We are all Edward Snowden now. We urge you to remain peaceful, but to rise. Now is the time to say enough. We call for massive disobedience towards the Big Brother state. We invite you to be anonymous. We must act together worldwide for the cause of internet privacy. Anonymous has no leader, no ranking, and no single means of communication. We are spread of many mediums and languages. Join with us for the freedom of the internet. We are Anonymous. We are Legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.
Greetings, NSA. Thanks to the actions of Edward Snowden, the world is now aware of your absurdly intrusive and elaborate monitoring agenda. Every Verizon user, every Facebook, LinkedIn, Google+ and Twitter account, every Yahoo, Bing and Google search result, every Microsoft Windows, Google Chrome and Apple Mac operating system, every Safari, Chrome and Internet Explorer web browser, every PayPal and Google Wallet transaction, every Gmail, Outlook and Yahoo email, every bit of content in iCloud, Dropbox, Drive and SkyDrive, every AOL, Yahoo, Messenger and Google Talk Instant Message, every Skype, FaceTime, Google Hangouts and Talk Call, every Flickr, Instagram, Picasa, Dumbland, YouTube Media. All are victims to your illegitimate counter-terrorism measures. Spying on over 120 million people, including innocent citizens of your own nations, was not a good idea, as you will come to understand soon enough. We will now be commencing Operation National Security Agency, in retaliation of your disrespect for the privacy of people worldwide. You cannot expect to covertly spy on people who have done nothing wrong, under the guise of preemptively fighting terrorism, when you failed to stop the Boston bombing and expect consent. You are of no use to anyone except those in power and who wish to keep it, at the expense of every citizen's privacy, that they are entitled to under the Constitution, of which you show no respect for. NSA will be unforgiving in its work and will leave no stone unturned, just as you do for all of us. As of this moment, people around the world are beginning to wake up, and consequently, stand up to your data mining agenda. You will soon understand for yourselves what it is like to be spied on and your personal information be stored, available for all to gaze upon. We are officially calling on all citizens of the internet, all anonymous participants and all activists to take to their computers, take to their streets and take to all available outlets to let their voices be heard on this issue. Violations like this will not be treated with apathy. Anonymous has been proven to be a powerful force for good, and even more so, a nemesis to tyranny and injustice. You thought you could infringe on our privacy. You thought you could wiretap people who have no reason to be observed. But best of all, you thought you could get away with all of it. The NSA will lose the game. All your base will belong to us. We are anonymous, we are legion, we do not forgive, we do not forget, expect us.
Now in this country there's apparently 60 million people and growing, maybe nearly 70 now, I don't know. In this world there are 7 billion people and growing. The number of people who are controlling this world, who are putting us in the state we are of slavery, who are taking our children away, are a tiny, tiny fraction of the people on this planet and in this country. I think I see a way out of this. We need to come together and stop cooperating with this system. Not fight it. They want us to fight it. Just a few more people on the streets with weapons. Then, oh, we must fight the people. There's an uprising. No. This system, whether it's child abuse, whether it's stealing children from loving parents, or whether it's bombing the innocent around the world for political expansion and acquisition, the number of people doing it are a tiny fraction of those who are having it done in their name. The system is held together by our acquiescence. Enough! Enough!
Greetings, citizens of the world, we are anonymous. Government of the United Kingdom, it has come to our attention that despite our continued warnings, you have decided to disregard our requests to assist the people of this country and have persisted in running a system which only benefits yourselves and the giant corporate bodies operating here. We have asked politely on many occasions that you change your attitude towards leadership, that you serve the country rather than control it, that you maintain the rights and freedoms of citizens. Instead, you have decided to impose worsening austerity measures upon the people of the UK, increasing taxes for citizens and small businesses, making cuts to our National Health Service, education system, pensions, and police force. You have told the people that the only option out of the financial crisis is to make cuts, and have made this humorous joke of "we are all in this together," while simultaneously giving tax breaks to the wealthy corporations, enormous bonuses to the bankers who are responsible for the financial crisis in our country, and attempts at increasing your own wages. You have created a system which ensures the poor remain poor, and the wealthy remain wealthy. You continue to infringe on the fundamental rights and freedoms of the people, attempting to gain access to our private and confidential information. It is now very clear to us that you have no intention of running the country for our people, but you will continue to run it to benefit yourselves. This system has failed us. We now have homeless people dying on the streets this winter, people unable to support their families. People can no longer afford their education. You keep the elderly in work for much longer, keeping jobs and opportunities for younger people out of reach. The number of unemployed has skyrocketed. In response, you force those on benefits into unpaid labor, doing more hours unpaid than those who are properly employed. You add insult to injury. We say enough is enough. To the UK government, you have made an enemy of Anonymous. You have angered us considerably, and we pose a significant threat to you. You disregard the requests of the people, and continue to operate for your own selfish gain. Anonymous is not a small group of powerless people to ignore. We are an organized, globally active, collective of like-minded individuals, and our message is clear. We declare war on this current system you have imposed on us. Your worst enemy is now your own people. The revolution has begun. We are Anonymous. We are Legion.